Unfiltered. Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. A very, very well-dressed Matt Serra and myself. They asked us to wear collared shirts because we're going to be giving out awards. But
Yeah.
I told them I'm too fat for my fucking collared shirt, so I'm just wearing this dumb blazer and a T-shirt. But I'm too fat for my collared shirts, man. It's humiliating.
Yeah, from front, behind, on the side, I feel I could just strangle you in that blazer.
I wish you would.
And not for nothing. You could be dangerous if somebody attacks you with a blazer.
Maybe your little collar I wouldn't be able to get.
No, man. Yeah, and I haven't seen you.
Yeah, that's right. I have not seen you.
Don't you know?
How was your stem cells?
Man, I got stem cells all over my body, all through my body. And I'll tell you, it hit me different this time. I felt like Toby Maguire at nighttime, like in the first one, he got bit by the spider. I had the towel over me, shaking. But I'm feeling all right now.
Wait, you were shaking. You felt sick?
Dude, I had it hit me hard this time. Heart was beating. I'm like, man, what the heck?
Did they say that could happen?
Yeah, they said that's normal. It's like the super serum getting into your body. I felt like a combination of Weapon X and Steven Rogers from Captain America.
How long do you feel that way?
You just ignore my.
No, I don't know who they
nonsense. Well, well, I'm not gonna get. It's Wolverine and Captain America. Basically.
Oh, okay.
How they got, Anyway, I feel great, bro, and I feel great that we are doing. What are we calling this? Year in review?
I guess so. Yeah, we're gonna
call
cover a lot of ground. We have our awards. We're gonna talk through who we think should get what award, what honor.
Our personal thoughts on what we think, because who's bigger fans than us?
Or we could also discuss our final tally too for our head-to-head competition.
Oh man, wait a second. I can't believe that you're coming out on top. This is crazy. Do we start over with the new year? What do we do?
We do start over with the new year. I think we should start with the most important thing, where the UFC Unfiltered head-to-head competition trophy. I don't want to say anything.
What is it, 57, 55?
57 to 55. I think there was a one-fight difference. I have 38 losses. You lost 39 times.
Oh.
But you did outpoint me by 7.
Well, listen, I'm happy just to be in this with you.
Me too,
listen. I think we're both winners by being able to do this. I think that
I disagree. I think in that one I was a winner.
You're a very bad winner, Jimmy. You're a very bad. I would have been like, oh, it's not that big a deal. We're in this together.
Well, Matt, I'm looking back on this, and I was in the tank until September or October, and then you went on a losing streak, and I got a hot streak at the very end. But I was in a bad way until October. I was really bombing. But who cares? I'm waiting for my trophy. I look forward to receiving the UFC Unfiltered Fight Picker of the Year trophy. Would be great. They could whip something up.
You actually should. Could they make a little something for us?
A nice trophy. Maybe a trip that comes with that.
Matt went 8. Wait, hold on.
8-17 in your last 25 fights. Yeah, the last 25 really got you.
Why you bring Jake?
Thank you, Jake.
Happy New Year, you little fuck.
Actually, excellent statistician work. I do appreciate that.
This is him trying to be breaking his balls. Oh, yeah, he just throws that in.
But this should come with like a first-class Hawaiian trip and a trophy.
I got a little too cocky. And listen, hey, it's a tough game. It is a tough game. I don't feel bad. I got to pick wrong. Some people are leaving there with less skin.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I know.
All right. Well, so that's the way we start. But who cares? I'm not bragging about it just because my picks were very good, 55 and 38.
You did fucking awesome, Jimmy. You see reels on like Instagram or Facebook or anywhere, YouTube reels.
Yes.
And you're like, wait, that's not right, dude. I just saw a reel and it's Sarah 3-0, 0-3 versus Penn. So it's me talking to BJ, right? And it's going, BJ, you beat me 3 times, BJ. Three. Now, the way it's cut up, it doesn't get into where I lost at this very close decision to him, and then the other 2 on me cornering against him. I didn't fight him 3 times. So the layman looking at that is saying, "Oh wow, I didn't know they competed. Maybe the other 2 were in grappling." No, it was one fight, which it was very close. You don't know, he got the nod, but So what the fuck? And guess who put out that clip?
Who?
Me. It was from my clip guy. I go, what the hell is this?
What?
What the fuck? So I go, I gotta talk to this guy. He's a nice guy. He does great clips. But
He sure does. I'm so happy he did that one.
Dude, anybody looking at that is just gonna go, oh, I guess they must have had combat 3 times. No. I don't even think I lost once. No, it was a close fight.
Matt, it's really funny if you actually do a reel talking about, like, look at the clip above you that my idiot clip guy put out and explain it.
Listen, I hope he has a great sense of humor, because originally I'm writing my producer, like, dude, what the and then I'm like, wait, you know what? This
make
might
fun
be
of it.
Good. It might be good for air.
Make fun of it.
Maybe you can make a cut out of this. You know what I mean?
It's very funny if you talk about your clip guy fucking it up and you point and you go, that clip was made by my guy.
Dude, I think that's hysterical.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's almost worth him doing that to talk about. Anyway, back to what a year.
Let's talk. We have some really interesting awards. I mean, it was 10 of 11 champions were crowned in an 8-month span, which, again, I always equate that to when the NFL had salary caps come in. There becomes this parity in the league. Everybody becomes a little bit closer. And I think that with the PI and with everybody training MMA for such a young age, and you see now that generation is now, of adult and fighting age, there's just too many good guys to be dominant for, years and years now.
Well, I'll tell you, and it's not one of those laces out moment. I'm not trying to make my friend feel bad because he's, already a legend. But if Marab did win this last fight with Peter Yan, it's a whole different he might be winning all the categories.
Yeah.
But it was, you know what I mean? But that's what happens sometimes when you try to risk greatness.
Yes.
Try to do something that somebody has not done before. And not for anything, it was a hell of a fight.
It was a great fight.
You know what I mean?
And credit to Petr Yan. No, Petr Yan looked great. Like Marab didn't lose it. Marab fought well, and Petr Yan just made great adjustments and fought really well.
Well, are we jumping all over the place? Because we could bring up upset of the year right now if you want.
Let's start with newcomer of the year.
Let's do it.
All right, Kevin Valejos, Killen Salkeld, Atabe Gautier, or Alexandre Topuria, all really had very good fights, had great years, and Valejos just beat. Did he just beat Giga Chikadze? No. Yes, he did. He just beat Chikadze.
Spitting back fist with nasty.
But he had him up against the cage with a couple of rights, a big overhand right and then a straight right. Giga was in trouble at that point, but he really spun it and just that was the end after that back fist landed.
He's got a little tank. I like it. Like, because Giga had the reach on him, but he's in like a shell. I like that. I can relate to it. And just coming forward, throwing bombs. And that was a well set up back fist.
Yes.
I was very impressed, but you gotta give Quaylen his due.
Salkeld had that devastating knockout of Hakbarast in the first. That was his last. I think it was his last fight. I believe it was a head kick. It was a devastating knockout. Am I crazy? It was. He just stopped moving. I think that was an instant knockout head kick.
But it was a home crowd, so you know what I mean? That even makes it more exciting. I'm going with, I feel, and I listen, and also Topuria, 2-0. You got to I'm not giving it to him, but he's looking great.
Yes,
something in the genes in that family.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
and Gautier, by the way, is if you after the Contender Series, he's 3-0 in the UFC, all first round knockouts.
I'm not saying. Go ahead.
No, as I say, it's hard not to. It's always very impressive when someone has 3 first-round knockouts, and these are again, they're all good fighters. But when you look at the knocking out Chikadze the way Vallejos did, it's kind of hard to not look at that. Or Salkeld knocking out Hackbreast. I mean, to me, I have to give it to one of those two guys. I'm going to give it to, my opinion would be Kevin Vallejos, but it's a very tough one between him and Salkeld. But because it was Giga that he stopped, and he now he's number 13, so I'm going to give it to him because again, just the level of competition and the guy he stopped, I'm going to give it to him as the newcomer of the year.
Has Nasrat been stopped before?
Yes, he has been stopped. Dober stopped him. Drew Dober knocked him out, and he was subbed by Adrian Roof, but that's 13 years ago. That was in 2012. So he's very difficult to stop.
I'm with you. I'm putting it between them because of who they fought. But the fact that Giga never been stopped before, his only stoppage is his only loss is to Silva. He's got such a bright future. He's only, 23 years old?
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Kevin.
Okay, yeah, we'll both give it to Kevin Vallejos.
Yeah.
Again, it was tough too because Quillen Salkeld had such an impressive.
Quaylen's coming back on.
That's January 31st.
There you go.
Let's do breakthrough fighter of the year. There's some interesting people to discuss. Obviously Joshua Van had an incredible year.
Oh man,
it depends if you consider him a breakthrough fighter. They raise a good point. He started 2025 before embarking on his 4-0 run this year. He dethroned Pantoja. Again, though, but I wouldn't say dethroned. Technically, he's the champion, but that's a fight I would still like to see happen for real. So he won, but I don't credit him with Pantoja hurting himself.
No, me neither. But at the same time, he went for what a year. If you look at the year, I think it's almost like a no-brainer here. I mean, everybody else what we're going to mention here is phenomenal and is doing great. But to go first of all, the most wins out of everybody here on this list, and not only the most wins, but has a belt in the process. Come on, man, with Pantoja. No matter what, hey, listen, no matter what,
100%. Yeah,
you know what I mean. By him catching that leg and making him have to base out, and hey.
Yeah,
this is the fight. If you didn't catch
it's kind of like when O'Malley got hurt against Cheeto Vera. It was because it was somebody else did that you got the injury. Like you weren't in there by yourself.
It was like, well, he kicked his actual fucking leg. It might be a low, it might be a low chance of him kicking that right chance again, but at the same time, he did it, and that's how he got hurt. So I didn't think that one was really as controversial at all, but this one either. So with me, I'm really impressed with Walter Walker, because when's the last time you see, or any time you see a heavyweight? I mean, Verdun was taking people out with submissions, but to get this 4 straight wins by the way of heel hook, it's
like Ronda with the armbar. When Ronda was armbarring everybody, and eventually somebody will stop it, and then that will be like the blueprint. Oh, this is how you stop him from doing that.
But you know what's nice? He's it's not like he's not well rounded, man. He's not like shy standing up. He's throwing punches. He's getting in there. He just goes with the flow. And these big guys, like you said, they can't move like him down there. A little too stiff, So you get a big guy moving like a little guy down there with his hips and his lower leg attacks, ashi attacks. I'm so impressed. Nasruddin 2-0, and also Waldo Acosta. I don't think he's talked about as much because the one that he lost when he went 4-1, the one that he's lost, where is that?
Was it Sergey Pavlovich?
Yeah.
It was a decision. It was a unanimous decision to Sergey.
It was a decision. So listen, you still hold your head up high with that, but
of course,
the other ones, a pair of first-round knockouts. He had a great run. Listen, they all had a great run. That's why they're mentioned.
And Matt, don't forget Fatima Klein too. She lost her debut in 24, 3-0 in 2025. She had Dudakova. She had a knockout over and a devastating head kick. I think it was a head kick over Martinez, knockout, and then a unanimous decision win over Angela Hill. And again, veterans like that are just always going to figure out a way to stay in the fight. She's like the female Neil Magny. That's what she reminds me of. You know what I mean?
good.
Just somebody who no matter who they're fighting or whatever, they are never an easy fight.
And she's only 25, this girl.
And she's 12th in women's strawweight, so she's definitely somebody to consider. Because I think that that head kick, man, you might even put that in conversations for knockout of the year as well.
Oh man, she's got a bright future, Klein. I'm excited. Michael Morales is looking just like a monster.
Yeah, he knocked out Magny. Magny was in 24, and then Burns and Brady.
Well, his last 3 fights have all been first round KOs.
Crazy.
Magny, Burns, Brady. Yeah, if that's, can't wait to see what's next for him. It's almost like you want to see him get tested. Like, he didn't get, he's going in there unscathed. He's getting out unscathed. He's just putting people down like a Terminator. To me though, I'm going with Joshua Vaughn, man, the champ.
But for breakthrough fighter, I guess.
Wait. Oh yeah. What do you mean breakthrough?
I guess so.
A year ago, nobody was. He had a hell of a year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
everybody started talking about him this year. He got some what was it? He took some chances last minute, and then jumped on the next one, and he has a busy year, and it paid off. I don't think you could. Yes, breakthrough fighter of the year, Joshua Vaughn, without a question.
I think you're right because Morales only did fight twice. Joshua fought 4 times, but the fact that he stopped Gilbert and Sean Brady, both in the first round, that's a tremendous level of competition. Walter Walker, I just love. I love watching this guy, but again, it's not as impressive as 4-0 with the belt. And Waldo Cortez Acosta, you're right. He does get looked over, but 4-1 in 5 fights is pretty amazing. I think I'm going to have to go with Joshua Van. Again,
yes.
I'm leaning towards Michael Morales, though, just because of the guys he knocked out. But Joshua Van also fought very high level. And again, you're right. This year was his year. And it was a breakthrough from a guy that everybody knew to just a different level. So, yeah, I'll agree with that.
Went from unranked to champ.
Yeah.
Could have just wrote that in. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Hey, upset of the year. I know who I got.
Why? Who do you have? Now, is it Mizuki?
I love Mizuki. Mizuki trained out here at Serra-Longo. She was over
really?
at Longo. Oh yeah.
Mizuki's I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. She was over at Longo's and then take the trip to my place and roll with the gang. She's great, Mizuki. I thought that's definitely up there.
Amarin was a 4-1 favorite, and she beat her by decision. Which again, it's not as sexy as a knockout, but it's still like one of those things where you're a 4-1 underdog and you wind up winning the fight. Petr Yan over Merab, as far as an upset of the year. I don't know if you can call that an upset because they had a really good first fight. I think Merab won 50-45 actually.
Yeah.
But Yan, I'm not surprised that he fought so well because he's so fucking good. It's hard to call that an upset because it was like, yeah, they're very evenly matched guys, and Piotr's a very good fighter, technically sound everywhere. So it wasn't like it was some guy that you knew he was going to make adjustments. So,
well, listen, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
So, the way he fought was phenomenal. Merab, showed his toughness, showed his striking, and I feel he could best him in the next one. I was there in the corner of the first one. I remember seeing that firsthand, and I feel I'm going to give it to Petr Yan because you got to look at this. Like, it's really fair to say you could argue that Merab, they talk about his win streak, and his title defenses and who he did it with, but that win streak, he could easily be undefeated. There was a controversy with the one that they stopped after the bell.
Was that Simone?
With Simone, that's controversial at best. And the other one with Frankie Size is pretty much a robbery. If you could watch it and see it. So for Petey, and he bested him already, Merab, using the style that he usually uses. And it was a shutout.
Yeah.
It was a fucking shutout. So for Petr Yan to make amazing adjustments and, to capitalize on that rematch and get the title, I think I'm going to give that the upset of the year. I think that's, you got to give the flowers where they're due and it makes it that much more exciting, by the way, for their rematch when that happens.
And I guess I'm thinking of it because also Pereira I was very happy that he knocked out Ankalaev in the first round because I like Alex so much. But I guess that wasn't necessarily an upset. But I can only go by my personal. I thought Magomed Ankalaev was going to beat him a second time because he has such a tough. He's just so grinding on the cage, and I actually thought Ankalaev might win that fight. So for me, Pereira was an upset, even though I was really happy he did it. And Jack Della Maddalena, I thought Bilal was going to beat him too. I thought again that style of just pressing you up against the cage and relentlessly trying to put you on the ground was going to be difficult for Della Maddalena. So I guess I can only look at it from my own personal, as opposed to the way that they technically score it. You're probably right, Piotr Jan. But for me, I think Jack Della Maddalena was the biggest shock win of the year. So I'm gonna on my
Really?
personal thing, I'm gonna give that the upset of the year just because I really thought Bilal was gonna win that fight. Even though Piotr Jan is probably technically a bigger upset, considering the things you said. But I'm going to say Jack Della Maddalena beating Bilal because that was the biggest shock for me.
And also, let me add, Brendan Allen came off the couch and on short notice took on RDR, who was looking like the next guy. Like he was right there to fight for the
Yep,
title. He took it on short notice and he had a fourth round stoppage.
that's right.
And he was filling in for an injured Anthony Hernandez, Fluffy. So
Yeah,
I feel that Brendan Allen, I mean, I remember when it was almost like, I mean, he took a major shot taking that fight off the couch. And the other guy you didn't really see many holes in his game. He took, he beat former champion Robert Whitaker.
yeah,
And for Brendan Allen to do that, and he's always showed glimpses of greatness in his fights, even the ones he's lost. Sometimes it's down to just strategy, a little bit too
right.
much time on the back, and even though you're not feel like you're losing, like the way they're looking at it. But now I feel his fight IQ is just getting. He's just fighting to his ability, and I can't wait to see what's next for Brendan Allen. But definitely an honorable mention there.
Yeah, 100%. And what do you think, Matt? Event of the year. This is a very difficult one to choose because you have 317, which had Taporia's knockout of Oliveira. Joshua Van against Roy Val, which is definitely in conversation for fight of the year. Who I love, Gregory Rodriguez. Jose Miguel Delgado also had incredible finishes. Terrence McKinney. Every fight was a good fight. 320, which was in Vegas, 7 of the final fights. The final 9 ended inside the distance. Yuri's comeback of the year candidate knockout over Khalil. Marab was phenomenal in that third title defense over Sandhagen. And Pereira proved that loss to Ankalaev was a fluke when he reclaimed the light heavyweight title. Also 323, another not one bad fight. Pantoja, that arm injury stunk, but the card was amazing. Piotr Jan had that devastating performance against Marab. Peyton Talbot had this. I thought Cejudo was never going to make it through that fight. The fact that Henry Cejudo fought as well as he did, was as tough as he did, I was very happy to see Henry go out like that. That crazy fight between Aslan and Baranevsky. And then UFC Paris, Matt, what do you think? 11 finishes out of 13. The main and the co-main, France was greater than Brazil, Imavov over Barajo, and of course, Benoit Saint-Denis did sub Mauricio Ruffi.
I'm going to say personally, and sometimes the fights are more. I mean, it's a bias to me because of who's fighting. So when Marab had that third title defense versus Corey Sandhagen, you know, one that fight was great. You know what I mean? I was nervous because Corey's like Achilles in there. He comes in with the knees and up through the middle, and so that fight was fun as hell. And Pereira
Yeah,
when he had that first round KO and he just marched towards Ankalaev, that was something else also. It
yeah.
was just and the other fights on there. Who else was on there?
That was Yuri
That
Prohaska
was
over
Yuri's come yes,
over
the
Khalil.
comeback versus Khalil Roundtree, who
Crazy.
was putting on a Muay Thai clinic. And you saw like Yuri frustrated that he couldn't just get in
Yeah,
his rhythm. And then he got finally in his matrix type like stalking rhythm and just in your face, barely getting out of the way, even taking one to give one. That fight alone. And that was before the two fights we mentioned earlier.
yeah.
So it just that was great. That was fantastic. So UFC 320 in Las Vegas, that was That was my card of the year. I thought that was a phenomenal card.
I totally agree because even though Topuria knocking out Oliveira is one of the most shocking things I've ever seen, for me personally, Charles getting stopped in that first round. And again, the Joshua Royval fight was so good. But I agree with you. That Khalil Roundtree comeback was incredible by Yuri, and Marab's fight over Sandhagen was amazing. And then Pereira over Ankalaev. So I have to agree. That's the best one.
And that Yuri Roundtree fight, that really just got everybody just amped. And then
Yeah.
think about it, and then look at how the fights after. It was just that's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, your adrenaline's pumping, and then all of a sudden, then Pereira comes out with the arrows and he delivers in a
Yeah.
and it's such a difference between that and the first fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're expecting one thing, you get a totally different thing. That was great. Great night of fights. That was fantastic. Let's go, bro. We're banging them out, man. Comeback of the year.
Yes, there's a couple of really interesting ones here too. Julian Marquez is just a brute, and that fight with Cody Brundage, he had that Marquez. It was putting it on in that first round, and Brundage survived it. An uppercut to set up a follow-up shot that sealed that first round KO. Cesar Almeida against Abdul Razak Al Alasan. He got dropped. He survived, and a left hook ended it in the first. And then, of course, we just talked about Yuri against Khalil, that round 3 knockout of Khalil, and he was down 2018 on all 3 cards. He was definitely down 2-0. Which one of those do you think, Matt?
It's an easy one for me. Even though, listen, the Cody Brundage, the Cesar Almeida, awesome. They weathered a heck of a storm, and then they come back to get the finish. I mean, that's why they're in this conversation. Phenomenal. But the Yuri Prohaska fight versus Khalil Roundtree, man, it's almost that it's like Roundtree was fight. It was almost like he was fighting perfect.
Perfect.
It was. He wasn't missing the target, and when he was fighting brilliantly. It was such a clinic, and you've seen the frustration, and you're wondering how is Yuri gonna pull this out.
Yes.
But he's so wacky, and he takes such chances. He broke him down. Well, I think it was within a couple of minutes. It was less. It may be wrong. It was the last round.
Didn't Khalil look? If I remember right, he looked very tired in that third.
Yes.
I haven't watched the fight since it was live, and you could just tell, like, okay, Yuri is taking advantage of the fact he seemed like he was a little gassed in that third, if I remember.
Yeah, he was gassed, and he was trying to still fight back with the right attacks. But then Yuri had to say, screw it, trust his reflexes and his chin. And he put himself right, he kept putting himself right in front of him, where it's like, and he had more on him at that point where Khalil just couldn't keep him off. And he literally broke him down and then put him out. Had to turn, but it was some when you seen the turn of the tide by that third round, it's like, could he get it done in time? Because he's already down 2 rounds, you know? So it was the other ones came out of nowhere. This one was like, is the clock going to beat him? Because now he's starting to get his way. And he ended up getting it done. So it was, and we know him. We know the way he fights. So it was just something else, man. And you almost fell for Khalil because it's like, dude, you were doing so good for like 13 minutes of that fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, man. That fight stands out to me. I feel like I seen it yesterday.
Me too, buddy. That's an easy pick, Yuri Prohaska, because again, Almeida and Brundage, Julian Marquez and Abdul Razak Al Hassan, they're all great fighters. But to do it in the third round when you're down 2-0 is also even a greater comeback because you've got 10 minutes of losing. So it's easy for me to say Yuri in that fight is the comeback of the year. That was an incredible comeback. I was happy for him too, even though I like both of those guys. What do you think, Matt? Sub of the year, submission of the year. There's some really, really good ones here.
I know which one I'm doing.
Now, there's Kayla Harrison over Juliana Pena, round 2 Kimura to dethrone her and take the belt. There's John Silva over Bryce Mitchell, a ninja choke in the second. Marab, of course, defeating O'Malley by a third-round neck crank. And Islam over Renato Moicano.
All impressive, but I'm knocking 2 out of there, and it's down to 2 to me. Kayla Harrison defeating Juliana Pena, and or Marab obviously beating Sean O'Malley. So I mean, it's huge what Kayla Harrison did. I mean, yes, she's known as the grappler, but
Yes.
Juliana Pena, she just got her black belt in jiu-jitsu. She has a wrestling background. She's very slick on the floor. So if you know your opponent's major way to beat you and they still beat you like that and dethrone you like that, I'm not knocking on Juliana. I think she's amazing. It just shows you how powerful and dominant Kayla Harrison is on the floor when she gets you down there. You know what I mean? And me, I'm a Kimura savage. I love Kimuras. So that I would say would be the one, but for Marab, only because they fought before. It went the distance. The fifth round, I mean, Sugar even got a body kick off on Marab. So it's one of those things where the rematch, and how many submissions does Marab have in the UFC? I think he takes guys down and just beats them
Yeah.
up. He doesn't, so for him to beat, in a rematch where a guy that went the distance with him in that fashion to strangle him, and listen, you know, Kayla's known for her subs and her groundwork.
Yeah, that's right.
Rob's not known for his submission work. He's known to take you down, beat you up, slam you back down, beat you up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm gonna say Marab with the submission over Sean O'Malley to defend the title.
Now, it's funny you took out the one fight. The one I'm looking at that I was most surprised at. I wasn't necessarily. I was happy for Marab because I like him, but I wasn't shocked that he submitted O'Malley because I think he's so much better than Sean on the ground. Like I just think that that's Marab's. I wasn't as surprised by that at all. I was happy for him, but I wasn't surprised. Even though, again, O'Malley has been very tough to submit, and Marab doesn't submit a lot of guys. And Makachev over Moicano in the first round. I mean, he was a late notice replacement. Again, he's a deadly fighter, but I wouldn't call that sub of the year. So Kayla Harrison over Pena or John Silva over Mitchell. And for me, it was John Silva over Mitchell because Bryce is a legit jiu-jitsu black belt, devastating on the ground. He is known to be a nightmare on the ground. And I did not see John Silva submitting him. I said Silva might knock him out, but I did not see John Silva submitting Bryce. So I'm going to say for myself,
Interesting.
that was the sub of the year because I was so shocked that it happened. So that's my pick. Knockout of the year. Wow, there's some fucking great choices here.
You know what you don't see often. You don't see wheel kicks just knocking people out unless it's Wonder Boy,
right?
Marcio Rufy. That was a beautiful wheel kick, spinning wheel kick to the temple of King Green, and it was. I mean, I don't know, man. That one just such a highlight. But also Lerone
Murphy, yes.
Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico, because Pico was like a raging bull in there, But I know Pico's light's been out before. I love Pico. I think I want to see him back. Hope after he rests his head and everything. But he is a savage, and he was coming out there like a savage, and it was a big hype of him first fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
But Lerone Murphy was like not up in here, man. And people like they give him some crap because maybe he's just calculated in there and he takes time. But I mean, wow, that was some stoppage. Pereira versus Ankalaev, we were talking about that. Yes, it is an amazing knockout, and the fact that they fought 5 rounds and he didn't do it the first time, you're thinking it could be a repeat. But if his only way of winning is doing that, he's always capable of that. You'd think if he wins, that's the way he's winning. I don't know. Listen, it's still phenomenal. I'm not shitting on it.
Yes, of course.
But I'm saying we're trying to give out the knockout of the year. Sometimes it's when we're doing this, is it more of no? It's not an upset of a knockout. It's more of the fashion of it, who it's against, right?
Yeah. It could be whatever. I mean, different factors could probably sway you in different ways.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's more impressive that Alex did that. I'm going to say to Magomed, but at the same time, Rufy's was just stylish. Like, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things out of a movie. And again, Tapora versus Charles Oliveira, but
that to me that's a big one. I mean, he went up in weight from featherweight to lightweight.
That was huge.
And again, Oliveira. That to me was the biggest shock. Was that knockout? I'm not saying I'm shocked Taporia won, But I did think Oliveira was going to get a hold of him and bring him to the ground. I did not see him getting knocked out in the first round. There was also, don't forget, Martinez getting knocked out by Fatima Klein. That head kick was devastating. And also Priscilla Cachoeira over Nunes, first round knockout. But as much as those were exciting to watch, I don't know if any of them had the implications of
Alex Pereira.
Pereira or Topuria. I mean, Topuria and Pereira both. And they both went up in weight technically, although I think Pereira was more used to light heavyweight than Topuria was to lightweight. I'm going to give it to Ilia Topuria. For me personally, even though the happiest one for me was Alex, I think that Topuria knocking out Charles was, for me, the most impressive and shocking knockout of the year.
You know what? I'm giving it to Alex Pereira. I mean, to do that to Ankalaev, and technically he did go up in weight, and he fought him for 25 minutes. There was a lot of shit talk in there. And Ankalaev is basically like saying, what are you gonna do? Like, I was in there already with you. You know what I mean? You couldn't knock me out. And then for Alex to go in there and of course, there was some talks about his first fight, how he went in there compared to his second fight with a better camp, healthy. I thought that he went in there confident to do exactly what he's did, and he went in there fearless. And the way he set it up, and he was attacking the body, and he just gave him no respect. I'm giving the knockout of the year to Alex Pereira, the champ.
There are 4 men's and 4 women's choices. We could give one for men and one for women as well if we want to. But there's also the Fatima Klein, there's Cachoeira, and then Jamie Lynn Harth over Teresa Bleda in the first round. And Jamie Lynn was on the show, but I was not on that episode, I don't think. I tend to think Ferro over Judah Savicius is probably the one I would go with. Although, you know what? I'm going with Fatima Klein, even though it's Manon Ferro was very impressive as well.
I'm going with Manon Ferro only because Jasmine is such a great, grappler. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She's like all over you. And the way she just took care of business was just something else. I didn't expect that. I think that's one of my losses, what I picked, if I remember correctly.
And there's a couple of honorable mentions, too. Carlos Prates had a couple of fucking devastating. Second round, of course, against Leon Edwards, and that spinning elbow against Jeff Neal in the first. Carlos Prates had quite a year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, yeah, he did. All right, what are we looking at? Fight of the year now.
Fight of the year. There's a bunch of these. Joshua Van over Brandon Royval. I mean, that was a decision win, and he picked up that short notice win. There was a tremendous fight at 317. Jack Della Maddalena dethroning Bilal. Nazim Siddiqov against Nicholas Mata. That second round KO.
That was an amazing round, amazing sequence with Mata throwing off, I don't know if it's a record, but he threw off like 70 punches, and you see Nazim just rolling with them up against the cage. Then he came back and he ended up finishing it in Nazim's hometown. Yeah, that was
a crazy fight. Yeah, yes. Chris Duncan against Rebecca. That was a great fight at the Apex.
Oh man.
That was a decision win. That was a fucking war. Diego Lopez, we talked over John Silva with that second round spinning back elbow. And John Silva looked tremendous in that fight, too. He was actually having a really good round. Piotr Yan, of course, over Merab. Prochazka over Khalil, which we've also discussed. Ivo Baranevsky, which I loved, over Ibo Aslan. Was a great first round KO. This Ivo is undefeated. I think he's 6-0 with all knockouts. But again, it's hard to give fight of the year in a 90-second fight. I usually like to see more back and forth.
Yes. You know what fight I really enjoyed, but it's personal, but it's also extremely entertaining, was Merab versus Umar. I think that's my fight of the year. I think that's my fight of the year. Reason being, there was so much personally too, I knew Merab had to get over some injuries, And then it was just Umar not being cocky, but being like he knows he doesn't want to face me. He doesn't say my name, and there was that put into it.
Yeah.
It was so much. And then for Marab, the way he fought and the way he was entertaining the
Yes.
crowd, and when you seen him start to, Umar came in early, hot and strong, and he ended
Up
up.
2-0, I thought. Yes.
And next thing you know, Marab's just not sweating it, but you saw him getting into his zone, and then you
Yeah.
saw the shift. And I'm giving that my fight of the year. That's the one.
And that fifth round was a good round for Umar as well. Marab did win it, and he did win the fight. But Umar definitely fought well in the fifth. So it wasn't like a 3-round cruise for Marab either. He fought. I think Marab won 3 and 4, and then the fifth round was closer, and Marab did win that.
Yeah.
So
And the way he did it, the fashion of it,
yeah,
he's playing to the crowd, takes him down, lands a punch. He's hurt. It just lived up to what you expected with two such great fighters.
for myself, fight of the year, I would say is I'm going to give it to Duncan Rebecca because that fight they looked like they both had come out of a room with baseball bats. That was a fucking insane fight. It was a very very violent fight. I cannot believe either of them made it through it, much less both of them. So to me, that was the fight of the year. The fact that they both survived that was fucking insane. I definitely didn't think that was going to go the distance.
Man,
We have one more to go.
that's it.
Fighter of the year.
Yeah, that's it. That's the last one.
Let's do women first. Matt, what do you think? Harrison Shevchenko, who went 2-0. Mackenzie 2-0. Amanda Ribas and then beat Janda Roba to win the title. Fatima Klein again lost that debut. Went 3-0 in 2025, including those head kicks, a head kick, and those other knockout that we discussed, and a decision win over Angela Hill.
Well, the champ, Valentina Shevchenko, and I love, and all these ladies are dangerous,
Tremendous.
and they're all phenomenal, and should be super proud of themselves. But you have to look who they beat, and she's just continues to impress. There's no slowing down. And the way she beat Zhang Wei Li, even though Zhang was coming up in weight, but it was just such a dominate. It was almost like, all right, you're going back down to the way you're not.
She did what she should have done. Yes, 100%.
And it didn't make it competitive. It was just so. She's just a brilliant fighter, brilliant mixed martial artist. It's not Kayla's fault, but Kayla only fought once. So
That's
what are
right.
you gonna do? If she had 2 finishes like that, maybe I'd be saying something,
Sure.
for her, because to do what she did to Juliana Pena to get the title is again, what a feat. Mackenzie Dern, good for her, man. I mean, getting the title the way she did, and she has some, a little ups and downs in her career, and look at her now. And again, Klein, we just talked about how dominating she's looking, and she's young. Her best is yet to come. I'm saying Valentina Shevchenko, the champ, the legend, for the female fighter of the year.
It's hard to go against Valentina, but I'm going to go with Mackenzie Dern just because they both went 2-0. And even though Valentina had 2 title defenses against Farrow and then totally dominating Zhang Weili, I'm going to take Mackenzie because she finished Amanda Ribas and then beat Janda Roba to win the title. First time title holder, Mackenzie. She won her first belt. So I'm going to give her Fighter of the Year for women, just simply because she was able to finally climb over and get beyond that. She was finally able to get a belt. So I'm going to give that to her.
Well, listen, when we talk about the fight of the year for the guys here, everybody's impressive. It would be a no-brainer for me if Merab obviously won that fight, dude. I don't think that'd be a no-brainer for anybody because nobody's ever done that before. But you have to give it to Islam Makhachev. I mean, Moicano's been beaten before, but the way he beat him was just handedly. And then, to become a double champ. And the way he handled JDM was about as, dominant as you could be without a finish, and that's going up a weight class, and he looks possibly better at welterweight than he does at 155, which is ridiculous. So, there was a lot of questions. Especially after JDM fought Bilal Muhammad and showed what he could do with a guy that's got a similar game plan of trying to get him down, out grapple him, and he showed a great fight. And to show the positional dominance and the control and the everything that he just how he just beat JDM, and he did it like he could do it. He just did it handily. It was just it was not a problem for him. So you have, I feel, and I mean, listen, also shout out to Peter Yan, where, he went 2-0, but the way he handled that rematch with Merab was a brilliant fight. Joshua Van went from unranked to a champion. I mean, 4-0. Everybody had a fucking amazing year, but when there's not a blemish on your a record, and yeah, as far as lately, I know he has one loss, but Islam Makhachev, he's just a stud, double champ status. How do you
Yeah.
not do that? How do you not do that?
Well, it's hard to argue. And Joshua Van again is 4-0, including that final fight, but that was not his fault that it ended. But I am actually going to go. I'm going to give Fighter of the Year for myself. It's Merab. Even though he did lose that last fight, he didn't. He fought twice as many times as Islam, and again, fought the same amount of times as Joshua Van. 3 title defenses in the year, which is fucking crazy. Over Sanhagen.
Amazing.
He finished O'Malley, and against Umar Nurmagomedov, and he was down 2-0. So I am absolutely going to say Merab. And the fight that he did lose was a guy fighting the best fight of his life, and it was still a decision. And it was, some people had a 4-1, 3-2, however you want to look at it. Joshua Van is the other one I would maybe, if honestly, and again, it's not his fault the way that Pantoja fight ended. If that fight had gone differently and he had fought and got a decision or a knockout, he probably would have been my pick.
That could be different also. But so you're saying it's easy to just jump up and wait and take out JDM.
Very difficult. But I also think that he fought 2 times. And again, Islam was incredible in both of those fights. But I was just more impressed with Merab and dominating Corey Sanhagen the way he did, and Sean O'Malley. To me, those were the most impressive feats of the year. 3 title defenses in 1 calendar year. I know that the last one was a loss, but again, he didn't even need to take that fight. He took it. So I'm going to say Merab. What are we hoping? What's the wish list for 2026, Matt? We have some really exciting upcoming. I know what my main thing for the wish list.
What?
I want you and I to be
Get
invited.
a cocktail sponsor.
That would be nice. I don't do pot, but small pot. But I mean,
I said a cocktail sponsor.
Oh, I think you said a pot pill. What an old! And I said I don't do pot.
I don't
am I
do
78?
pot.
I'm an asshole.
What is pot?
I just slap me.
I don't do grass.
Yeah. I would say what my wish for 2026 is that either Dana White or President Trump invites Matt Serra and Jim Norton to the White House to see that card. That's what my wish for 2026 is. I don't think that's crazy to ask for that. We had a great interview with President Trump. I would hope that he would have us before he was president. We talked to him, but hopefully that we would be invited to that. Now, for the not selfish things, just for the sport itself, more activity from Khamzat Chimaev would be nice. He only fought once. To see what he does with that belt.
Is that on your wish list? You asking Santa for that?
I would like to see it, sure. I mean, there's so many interesting matchups for Khamzat. And also, given the Georgian fighters an event in their backyard, Merab, Topuria, Dolidze. I mean, there's so many great fighters, Chikadze, all Georgian. It could be a great place for Giga to reverse that 3-fight skid. It's so fucking crazy that he's on a 3-fight skid. And how about this, buddy? A little clarity in this welterweight division, which is stacked.
How about some clarity in the welterweight division?
A little clarity.
Throw some potential matchups out there, Jimmy.
Makhachev versus Usman. Even Chadogari against Michael Morales. Michael Morales against anybody right now I want to see. That's a tremendous fight. GADM against Carlos Prates.
That's something you'd like to see?
Brady Shavkat, I would love to see. And Bilal against Joaquin Buckley. I mean, there's some really amazing.
You can mix match any of those. Just mix them up. I don't know. I think listen, welterweight feels like it's kind of like a breath of fresh air now.
Yes, it's crazy.
You know, it's almost like the old 155. Not even a new. Listen, 155. Oh man, what a great time to be a UFC fan.
And they're talking about super fights. John Jones against Alex Pereira. Will it happen? I don't have I'm not gonna hold my breath. I know Pereira had said that he is not a part of this card now at the White House. He said it's a no-go. So I don't know what that means. Maybe John doesn't want to fight or can't fight. I just don't know why. Or Valentina fighting the winner of Kayla Amanda Nunes. Yeah, that would be nice. But again, I think either one of them is just too big for Valentina. I think that either one of them would beat Valentina. And no disrespect to Valentina. She's probably one of the top 3 pound for pound fighters in history. And let's see how good Peyton Talbot is. What do you think, Matt? He showed some great wrestling against Cejudo. How about him against Cheeto Vera? Very exciting fight. And if he wins, maybe against O'Malley or Sanhagen, which would be a really great matchup.
I know, man. I like that Peyton Talbot. He's got a lot of zen coming out of him. It channels right in that tattoo he's got.
Yeah. Maybe that's we asked him about that. I don't remember what he said.
He's an interesting guy.
Who has not been champion yet, but will be one in 2026.
Oh, I'll tell you right now. Manuel Cape, I think, is just on fire.
Tremendous
some of the
over
post fight
Royval, yeah.
stuff. You better get your diapers ready. I don't know what he's talking about, but I like what he's saying. He's basically saying he's his daddy. I'm coming for your diapers. I'm coming hard, he was saying in 2026. So I think that him versus Joshua Vaughn's gonna be a sick fight.
Yeah.
Sick fight, because you gotta assume that
Manel Cop against him, yeah.
Pantoja's gonna be out a little bit.
Yes.
So I would love to see that. Love to see it. So I'm gonna say he's got a huge chance
Yes, he does.
Becoming the champ.
Tatsuro Taira as well. Again, he definitely does, but I think Cop, I think he is going to be a champion this year. And now in bantamweight, they're saying, how about Umar Nurmagomedov? I think we should. If Merab wants the immediate rematch, he deserves it. There's certain champions that have to wait and certain ones that deserve it. And I think that Merab has earned it through all of these fucking defenses and from fighting 4 times in a year. And from it being, this will be the rubber match.
Yes.
I 100% think he deserves it if he wants it. Or if he takes a break, then Jan can fight Umar.
I wonder how that goes. That would be wild, Umar versus Jan. Think about that.
And either way, it's a rematch for Merab. Whoever wins that fight, if it's a rematch against Umar or a third fight against Piotr. So, yeah, I don't know if Umar will be champion. I guess it depends on what happens next. If it's Piotr against Merab, then Umar, I don't know if he becomes champion because he has to go through Merab again. Diego Lopez, Lerone Murphy, Movzar Evloev, and Zalal, Steve Garcia, or can Aljo become a 2-division champion?
Oh, man. I mean, it's going to sound extremely biased, but Aljamain Sterling, you could say that he hasn't lost the fight at 145.
What about Aljamain's fight with Evloev?
I would have given that to Aljo, man. Dominated that until like the last 30. I'm Aljamain Sterling, give him his shot. Come on, man. Let's go. I'm 100% biased, but I'm going to say Aljamain Sterling.
Okay. I think Lerone Murphy becomes a champion this year. I think Lerone Murphy finds a way. Again, it's hard to say because you're going to say that certain guys are going to lose.
I know.
At lightweight, look, Sarukian, sure. I think Paddy Pimblett, because he is fighting for the interim belt against Gaethje, that is such an unpredictable fight. I'm almost like, I love Justin Gaethje, so I want to see him get it. But Pimblett, I think guys, will underrate him sometimes, how devastating he is and how strong he is.
Yeah, man.
So I think Pimblett's going to become a champion. What do you think, Matt? Machado Gary, Michael Morales. Does anybody have a shot against Makhachev?
I think Machado Gary definitely has a shot. With Michael Morales, even though he's got a judo background, we yet to see him pushed with the grappling.
Right.
We have seen, Ian Machado Gary, and he's got very good grappling, but could he defend against Islam, who's just looking indestructible?
And don't forget, too, they mentioned now, if Alex moves up to heavyweight, Carlos Ulberg is a great choice. He's looked incredible. Ulberg is a devastating puncher. So I definitely think that's a good choice if Pereira moves up and vacates. What do you think at heavyweight too? Cyril gone. I mean, look, there was not much time to fight against Aspinall. He looked really good, but I mean, who knows? Somebody looks good for a round doesn't necessarily mean that they are. He looked better than I thought he was going to look. Do you think Cyril gone becomes a champion this year?
All I know is I'd still be tuning in for that rematch.
Yes.
Hey, who else we got?
Well, they're also talking about Natalia Silva, who's 7-0. She's fighting Rose Namajunas on January 24th.
Well, that's going to show a lot.
That's a tremendous test. Yeah, we'll see what she does with Rose. And now Amanda against Kayla Harrison. That's a really tough fight to pick because Amanda hasn't fought in a while, and Kayla Harrison has looked really good.
Oh, wow. Could Valentina, and you know what? Also, a question is, could Valentina move up to 135 and win? Because she did. Listen, she has very competitive fights with
she does,
Amanda at that weight. And Erin Blanchfield, don't sleep. Let's not sleep on her, man.
Of course.
She's always a submission away. She looked great versus Cortez, and Cortez was fighting a good fight until she got caught. She was in there. It was a good fight. And that's a girl that bested her in the past.
Yes.
So it's showing that she's not mental, I like that Erin Branchfield, man. Really, really smooth jiu-jitsu.
I know. She's tremendous. And I'm looking up Kayla Harrison, man. She has looked really good. I think Harrison, even for Amanda, is going to be hard to beat. Because, again, it depends on – you never know how someone's going to look when they come back. You just don't know. I talked to Dean. He said she looks great, of course. But we'll see. I just don't know in that one. But Natalia Silva has a good shot, 7-0. We'll see how she looks against Rose in January. I mean, that's a huge tell.
Hey, who is poised for the breakout year in 2026? For a breakout year?
I am going to say Peyton Talbot at bantamweight definitely could possibly get a title shot by the end of the year. Yusef Zalal has looked so great. Him against Garcia, man. I would love to see.
He doesn't get enough shine, that Yusef.
Or Costa. I'm sorry, Matt. Makizio Costa, 4-0 in 2025. I think he's going to have a breakout year. Let me see. Who do I think is going to have the biggest year at welterweight, barring injuries or unpredictable? I think Michael Morales. I mean, again, he's 19-0. I'm not saying he's always going to remain undefeated. Shavkat's 19-0. I'm going to say we saw Carlos Prates look human finally. I'm going to say Michael Morales, until somebody proves me wrong, is going to have the big year at welterweight.
Well, at welterweight,
yeah,
I can't really go against you there. Ian Gary, I think that he's looking phenomenal. I mean, what do you have? The one blemish when he lost to Shavkat.
Shavkat, it was a decision. It was a good fight.
And at the very end, he had him in a strangle.
Yep.
So the only thing is, he should be fighting for a title soon, and then that could be not a great year. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. That's aggressive. Islam looks so dominant and strong and good at that weight. You know what I'm going to say here as I'm looking at this? I'm thinking of the heavyweights. I think Walter Walker is going to have a hell of a year.
I hope you're right. I am a fan.
I think he is just scared. I mean, I think he's making it look too easy.
Yeah.
But yet, because he's doing that, we're not seeing some other parts of his game that I'm sure he's got.
Yeah.
Because he's not looking bad standing. He's just not spending a lot of time in there.
Sure.
So,
and he's 15-1. It's not like he's only had 3 or 4 fights. He's a 15-1 professional, and his one loss was a decision. So he has not been stopped, and he has a lot of TKOs and knockouts even before he got to the UFC.
Hey man, all I know is Paramount Plus. It's going to be exciting new times.
Well, let me tell you something. I think the thing to look forward to in 26 is more dominant fight picking. I look forward to marching.
You're the worst winner ever.
I'm mad it was close. I let it go a little bit. I relaxed, and I'm like, let me really concentrate a little bit and get a few wins. Just happened.
Oh, what a night.
Buddy, this was fun. And thank you to all the guys behind the scenes who really do help keep us from looking like complete idiots.
Yeah, well, they do their best.
They do their best. Yeah, our moronicness shines through sometimes, but thank you guys so much.
I don't even know how long we've been doing this, but damn, I'm having fun. I do not come on here and not have fun.
It's always fun.
It's always a good time. What are you doing for New Year's?
I am going to be working. I'm doing a show with Louis C.K. in Brooklyn, and then I'm coming and doing the Comedy Cellar. And in January, I'll be in Pennsylvania, and I got a bunch of gigs coming up. And I'm shooting a new special January 11th at the Village
Wow.
Underground in the city. So go to thecomedycellar.com for tickets. I forgot about that, Matt. January the 11th, I will be shooting a new special, 2 shows on a Sunday, 4 p.m. They're doing like a matinee show and 6 p.m. It's great.
You know, ever since you left Sirius, and it may be because you have to, but it feels like you just got more energy, and you got like well, you're back on the road more,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And you're grinding, but it looks like you're having fun doing it, and you're slaying.
Thank you.
Unconceivable was a great special.
Thank you.
I think I seen your new special live. Is that your new special?
A lot of that material, yeah. Not 100%, but a lot of that material, yeah.
Do you know what it's gonna be called or not yet?
I don't know yet. I'll usually
Okay.
shoot it, and then I'll see how it themes out. If it feels like there's anything to it, I don't know.
What a great hour. So I saw most of it.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I'm so excited for you, Jimmy. Jimmy, they can't keep us down. They can't keep you in a cage, little bird. You gotta fly.
I know
And
what I'm
you've
going to call
shown
it.
that you
I know what
can
I'm going to
fly.
call it.
What is it?
Laughter, have some.
That's I feel like Marab when he got kicked with that fucking liver kick right now. I can't even.
I could hear it. Oh,
I want to do a verbal. But Jimmy, man.
And Matt Serra's channel, by the way, before we sign off, keep
Having fun.
supporting Geeking Out with Matt Serra on the Matt Serra YouTube channel. It's perfect for you.
We have a good time. I'm gonna have young Marcus on. We're gonna watch an anime. He's into anime.
Nice.
You know, I picked an anime that I would like too. It's a GI Joe. It's a GI Joe movie, Resolute, but it's mature. There's blood in it. I should have ended it already.
No, not at all. Tell me. I would love to know more about it.
You know what? Won't we hang up right now? People that you're not going to see what he put on there, but he put on something very, something that he's really into. Hey.
Oh no, it's a terrible photo.
Can we get that off there?
Oh yeah, let me see if I can do it. Is it in my? Here we go. Okay.
All right. We had a little technical glitch.
Technical glitch. Yeah.
You know, for production, guys, just put in a blank screen in the back. So
No. Just leave those two gentlemen. Let everybody see what's going on.
Jimmy, listen, man. Happy New Year.
You too, buddy.
Happy holidays.
You too.
And it's gonna be. I can't wait for 2026, man. We're going in now with my stem cells. Dude, we're coming in with throwing bombs.
Thank you to everybody who supported our show, and of course to Dana and the UFC for helping us and keeping this going, and all the guys behind the scenes, especially Jake. Thank you guys very much.
Unfiltered Army. Yes, thank you, Jake. Thank you, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
You don't want to yell it back?
Oh, let's do it. Happy New Year.
1, 2, 3. Happy New Year.
Yeah, goodbye.
I was Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.